There were a couple of like very adultish jokes.
Yep. Which made me think of like old school Disney where you don't get some of those things unless you're an adult. And
what was the one?
Well, welcome back to Eye to Eye, the place where we talk about anything and everything Disney. My name's Kyle.
And my name is Jessica, and today we are here to talk about Elemental.
A Pixar film, our spoiler-free review where we're going to grade that movie.
Yes, and we just saw the movie today, so it is like fresh in our minds.
It is. This is the first time we've actually had the time to go see the movie and then do it right after that. So we'll actually be pretty fair. Well, we could be riding a high maybe in this
I was going to say, you could either be riding a really high or a really low. So sometimes it is better to give it like 12 to 24 hours to sit on the feelings.
So that's maybe like a little bit of a preview of what's coming here, because I will just admit
these are our first impression feelings.
These are our first impression feelings, and I'm a little bit of a high about this. So
well, let's not spoil our spoiler-free.
Giving them the little bit of an element there to continue watching. You see, I got the dad joke already worked in here, so it is safe to view this. Please, obviously, in the comments as you're watching, keep it spoiler-free for those who haven't had a chance to watch it quite yet. Reminder, we do this on a 5-point scale in 5 different categories.
25-point scale.
5 scale
5
in each category, which amounts to a 25-point scale at the end of it. Yes, and we'll give a score out of 25.
It's not a 5-point scale.
It works. The math works in my head. All the elements come together in my head. That's the second dad joke. Leave me alone. I'm going to make as many.
It is Father's Day when we're filming this.
I'm not a dad yet, but I still have plenty of
dad jokes.
Plenty of the dad jokes. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's review and grade Elemental. Our first category.
Let's talk about the 5 categories really quick.
Good point.
So our 5 categories that we will go through are visuals and atmosphere, sound, design and music is one category, story and theme, characters and dialogue, and entertainment/enjoyability.
So let's do number 1, visuals and atmosphere.
So out of 1 to 5, obviously 5 being the highest, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5 as well. I mean, just knocked it out of the park. I'm kind of sad that we didn't watch this in IMAX. I'm going to be honest with you.
Honestly, this is the first movie, the Disney Pixar movie in a while that I thought this would be really cool in IMAX.
It's kind of the feel of Inside Out, you know, where all the colors and then how they were going to visualize the concept of these emotions being inside someone's head and stuff like that, and what their imagination land would look like and stuff like that. They just went ham and went wild with all of that kind of stuff. And you can see that from the trailer. We're not saying anything that's not obvious from the trailers.
No, they were just a couple of more scenes where, like, there was a scene where the 2 main characters go to visualize this flower.
Yeah.
And it was just so vivid. It kind of reminded me of in Avatar.
Yeah.
When they go to see that.
Oh, that's a good look at
pink,
you.
Like whatever flower thing.
I'm very proud of you for that. So I knocked it out of the park. 5s for both of us. Our next category: sound design and music.
So I gave this one a 3, only because I don't really remember any of the music or any of the like actual added sounds. It wasn't bad. It's just I give it a higher rating if the music really sits with me.
There's one particular song, I don't know the name of yet, but I was humming it in my head on the way home, and that usually is the marker for me. Okay, something with that resonated with me, but obviously it wasn't that big of an impact that I, gotta go look this up now. I will later, but for me, I almost put it at a 3 with Jessica because I found nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
The visuals,
3's not bad.
The visuals are what you come for in this, but I do remember is the love song part of it, where they were that montagey part, that where they're kind of getting to know each other.
Maybe if I go watch this, listen to the soundtrack.
Right. So I remember that, so I gave it a higher mark of a 4 just simply because I was humming something leaving the theater. Category number 3, story and theme.
Why don't you go first on this one?
Number 5. Gave it the 5. I was super.
I also gave it a 5.
I was super. I would look. It's Pixar. They very rarely fail at trying to tell a really, really good story.
That's true.
That gets you in the feels. And we've done a lot of great stories about, brotherly love, sisterly love, mother and daughter, mother, father, all the different
romantic,
but we got back to, and this is kind of a spoiler because I don't know if it comes through in the trailer.
Well, then I wouldn't say it.
It's not a spoiler, but there is a love story element to this. You see what I didn't even try to do that one. And that one came out. The element jokes they're elemental to this. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway. So with that, it was a great story.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It was not at all what I expected, and I think that was kind of part of the reason that I gave it a 5 is there was an aspect of the story that I was not anticipating at all. I thought the added theme of having parents in the story was really great, and the love between parents and their children, plus a romantic interest. Like there was a lot of good things.
When you can tell a main story and then have another really good subplot going alongside it, you know, the two main characters, and then this family dynamic that's going on with it, and what they are dealing with as a family, that's really cool. So I thought 5, knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely.
Characters and dialogue, I will do a 5 as well.
I also gave this one a 5.
I thought I was going to be annoyed by Wade, to be honest.
You know what I was annoyed by?
What?
That they named this kid Wade, not Wave. He's literally water.
But Wade, like Wade in
you
the water.
Wade in the water.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's a play. This whole thing
But
was...
also it should have been Wave, in my mind.
This whole thing was just a pile of puns. Like, and that's...
Well, yeah, the fire girl was named Ember.
Yeah, but even beyond just naming things, like how they spoke about like cliche sayings that we have, you know, they kind of doing the wave in the stadium.
When they did the...
Are you blanking now? There were too many to count.
There were a couple of like very adultish jokes.
Yep. Which made me think of like old school Disney, where you don't get some of those things unless you're an adult. And
what was the one where they said it was like, "Get off my ash"?
Yes, get off my ash was what we said. So you play it in they're adults.
Yeah.
Plenty of things like that, but plenty of jokes, really good dialogue. I mean, they knocked it out of the park with a 5.
Yeah.
Just really, really good. Final category, entertainment and enjoyability. This is obvious, I think.
Obvious. 5.
5. I mean, we used to talk about, would you go back and see this in theaters again? Look, Marvel movies are the ones that usually do that for me, but I would have no problems saying,
I would see this a second time.
Like somebody saying, I want to go see this. I'm coming with you.
And I'm probably going to say, let's try IMAX.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Because you know what would be really good? A 4D experience where they can kind of heat things up and maybe splash some water on you.
That's too far.
But that's the whole...
That's like A Bug's Life in Disney World.
Right. It's,
that's too far.
They just got to use all the different elements together, you know?
Fair. I did think the only
let that
thing...
joke go by, I guess.
Yeah, we're done with that. The only thing I felt like, there were a lot of kids in the theater when we went to see it. The younger ones, like preschool age, did not follow this movie.
Yeah.
It was a little... too over their heads. Now, elementary school age, they were completely fine, but all of the littles, it was almost too much adult humor, and the storyline wasn't convoluted, but it was a lot of dialogue. Whereas, a lot of Disney movies, it's more action and songs and things that little kids can really get invested in. So if you have preschool age kids, I'd kind of think through that, because most of the littles in our theater, within 10 to 15 minutes, were really lost and just not interested.
Well, the one good thing is there's a lot for little kids to see in this.
There's a lot to see, but it's not the holistic Disney experience where you have music and...
Yeah, well, and
you know what I mean?
And that's the Pixar part of this. Pixar's not known for their music like a Disney film is.
For sure. I just felt like that's a fair caveat since we rated it so high.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
I think there is definitely an age that
somebody who falls in line maybe with what like our age group and categories is really probably gonna like this.
I think if your kid's like Inside Out, like Kyle said, then this is an appropriate
good marker there for kind of judging things. So our final grade for this was you had a
23 out of 25.
I had a 24 out of 25. That is the highest scores we've given in quite some time.
Yeah, I think that's the highest score you've given since Endgame.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that's Spider-Man.
I forgot. Far Away from Home.
No Way Home.
Oh, okay.
The best Spider-Man movie ever, but that's not relevant here. I just had to throw that in there.
But I mean, this is the highest we've rated a Disney or Pixar movie.
Yeah,
Normally
one of us walks away from the movie going, I liked it, and the other says, it was okay, or I didn't like it.
Coco.
We're both like, no, this is pretty good. Like, we love this. I'm just going to ignore that Coco comment because...
I like Coco.
Blasphemous.
But Kyle was like, way up here. He's like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
Absolutely disgusting to me right now for making that Coco comment.
Keep your elements to yourself.
Oh my gosh. No, you can't do the jokes. We're done with the jokes. We want to know from you guys, how would you grade this on those 5 categories? Or just give your score out of 25 down there in the comments section below. We want to hear from you. What else should they do?
If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content.
That's it for this edition of Eye to Eye. Until we assemble again.
May the Force be with you.
And we'll see you real soon.
Bye, guys.